List price $25. Offer 10. No. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Blake, aka PoshBossBlake, and welcome back to my channel. Yeah. And today is Friday, so you know what that means. And if you don't, it's have lunch with me. We're having lunch today. This is a weekly series on my channel where we sit down, we chit chat, I answer some questions, we talk about life, and we dive into topics while we eat some lunch. And today for lunch, I've got a lean cuisine. So I know, don't judge me. I know we're at home. I just didn't feel like cooking and I had this in the freezer, so I thought I'd eat it today. This is the roasted turkey and vegetables lean cuisine. That is 20 more ounces. I find that the regular size ones are just simply not enough food for my caloric intake. That said, let's be real, these days, especially with my limited space, I don't get to move around a lot, so I'm also cutting my calories way more than normal to lose weight. Not only to lose weight, but just because I'm also not being as active. So hopefully the active and going out and about and being able to like go on a hike will change soon. But until then, I am cutting my calories a little bit more, so that I I'm not warranting needing to eat more. So anyway, this is actually really good. I love the roast turkey and it's delish. And for a little side snack, I have crispy apples. This is an Envy apple. You guys, I also just brushed my teeth. I know I'm eating, but I wanted to have my clean teeth for you guys. I'm starting with the apple before I start with all the flavors in the roast turkey because I need to balance out all the toothpaste flavor, you know? We need to get that initial shock gone. Also, because for today's drink, I'm drinking another 2 lemon iced tea. And if you didn't see my last lunch with me, that's the drink that I had. It's like a drink mix, like a Crystal Light, but it's no aspartame or anything, which is great. Oh my god. I didn't even get into it. Okay, so if you're new here, welcome. Hope you enjoy. We talk about all sorts of things. If you're returning, welcome back. Speaking of returning, I got some P.O. Box mail, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. And if you want to follow me on social media, check out my Poshmark closet, Macari. Everything is at PoshBossBlake. Links are down below. All sorts of affiliate links, so feel free to check out those links, coupon codes, etc. And check them out. So we're gonna start. Let's start off with the fan mail. We love a little fan mail. Okay. So if you didn't know, you could send something to me to my P.O. box. I would love to be pen pals, etc. That info is down below as well. I am checking the P.O. box like every 2 weeks because I'm not trying to like where my P.O. box is not the same place that I can walk to from my apartment. So I try to limit the amount I'm driving. So really I don't drive unless I'm going to the P.O. box, which is every 2 weeks. So glad I checked this out. I just got some goodies. So I want to say a cute little shout out to Sharon and Nancy. So Nancy actually is an extended family member, and via reading her letter, her daughter reached out to me, or her daughter sent my YouTube channel, etc., and they sent me a cute little letter with, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I had said, you guys, if you want to write me a letter, I have 3 stamps. Well, she was so sweet. She was like, I don't know how many people are writing you letters, so here's an extra stamp. Nancy, oh my god, you're so cute. Thank you so much. And then Sharon was so sweet. Also, floral theme with all these envelopes. Love a good floral moment. Oh, actually, I just noticed it ties into Sharon's paper. I won't show you the note, but that's cute. And then shout out to Sharon. She sent me a mask. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm gonna have a mask for every day of the week. I love it. This is nice and big, and there's a filter inside. Look at this cute little fabric. Can you see? And I don't know if it's reversible. I think it could be, I guess, but either way, it's like a nice navy. Love it. You can never have too many masks these days, especially while one's being washed. So let's dive into lunch, and we will get going with some YouTube related questions today. So let me pull them up on my phone. Get your lunch. Get your lunch. Let's see. I should also mention this comes with cranberries and green beans and sweet potatoes. So good. Highly recommend. I know that they don't make the 20% mores in many flavors. I think it's just this, maybe sesame chicken, but I've only seen it in 2. I've never seen it more than 1 flavor. So maybe they were testing it out to see how well it does. I don't know. Okay, so our first question is from Chrissy B. Have you been to the bins pre-drama days in LA? If so, can you talk about that? I heard it's a huge disorganized space. So for those who are unfamiliar, the bins, also known as the Goodwill Outlet, is a separate store. Can you even call it a store? It's a shopping... No, I'm not even going to say that. It's a place where you go and you literally dig in bins, which is why it's called the bins, like amongst resellers. And depending on where you are in the country or if it's a new outlet, there's usually blue bins that are like, you know, you could put your arm down in, not like fully, but you know, you have to bend over and they're probably like 2-3 feet deep. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes they're cardboard if it's newer. Like, if you guys know Jack and Ryan's Thrift Finds and Flipped Thrifts on YouTube/Instagram, they had a Goodwill open near them, a Goodwill Outlet. And when it was first getting set up, it was just cardboard bins. I don't know if that's been changed, but anyway. Chrissy referring to pre-drama days. I don't know what the drama is, personally, because I found the bins probably like a full year ago and like really tried it with Courtney Cometag, shout out. But I do know that there is a reason that there is not hard goods anymore, because people were getting hurt from the items themselves in the bins and like going crazy for it. The bins are a highly concentrated, competitive place to shop. I think the bins will have to be its own separate video, but basically, bins, imagine carts of stuff just being rolled out, right? And they're just rolled out. You can't touch them, but everyone lines up. There's a bunch of people already in this building. It's like a whole thing that you have to prep for. I think this is actually a great idea to do a video. Maybe next week's launch, we could talk about the bins completely. But basically, it's not a traditional shopping place. You line up, the bins get brought out on rotation all throughout the day while this business is open. And it's literally just clothing dumped in bins. In some places, it's bins, hard goods, shoes, etc. In the LA bins specifically, it's just clothing, books, shoes, and occasionally pallets of random stuff. There's rules to how you can buy all these things, and certain times things come out. But for the majority, all throughout the day, there's always clothes bins being rolled out. It can get very competitive. There's been an uptick in reselling. I'm sure there will continue to be as we get through our current circumstances. But basically, it's very competitive. People can get pushy. People can get into fights. You definitely have to stand your ground. Some people have different ways about going about it. I find that like you're not all looking for the same things, and in LA in particular, there's a lot of people that come up from Mexico in particular to just get everything, like every piece of like good quality clothing. And when I say good quality, I don't mean like the highest brand. I just mean good quality, so that they can take it back to Mexico and they can make money there. That said, there's all sorts of like little pockets. Like once you start going, you start to see all the types of people, or you get chatty with them and make your bins friends, etc. Like I remember part of the process is you have to get a cart and put it up against the wall. I'll explain next week. But basically, you find your spot and you leave your cart there covered all day. And every time you get good stuff, you come, put it in the thing, cover back up, da-da-da. But while you're probably like checking it, ruffling through, making sure brands are correct, no stains, etc., you're next to hundreds of people on left and right. One of the, I don't remember her name, but it was a group of people where they just bounce around. They find clothes and they sell it at swap meets, but they bounce around, kind of not like gypsies, but they just kind of travel to all the Goodwill outlets, get all the stuff, spend a couple weeks in one place, spend a couple weeks in another. And like that's a cool, for them, like floating lifestyle, and they loved it. I'm curious to see how they're doing now, but basically, there's all sorts of ways people are looking for clothing. And some people go purely to shop for themselves or for their families, especially if they're large families and they're maybe lower income, or they just know they can get a good deal. It's a certain clientele, I will say that. It's obviously not the people who can spend thousands of dollars on luxury goods. There are people that maybe are aware that they can find some good stuff, but the bins is a very unknown place. I found a Louis Vuitton tie, great condition. I got it for like $1 to $2, sold it for $100. Great. That's rare and far between, few and far between. But anyway, this is like a big tangent, and ultimately, it's not that it's disorganized. I find that it's just, there's so many people and there's so much, like when new bins get brought out, it's scary. It can be scary. So definitely worth chatting about in depth next week. So stay tuned. Thank you, Chrissy B. Okay, let me eat some more. This is so good. And it doesn't taste like, if you haven't had a lean cuisine like present day, they've like updated their formulas and their recipes and stuff, so it's not as terrible. / you can like actually like enjoy these. This 20% more lean cuisine is 8 points. It's only 300 calories. And the best part, there's 18 grams of protein. So the sodium is high. I'll say it's under 900 milligrams, which is pretty good for a meal like this, because sometimes they can get into the thousands, which people don't always realize. But I don't have these all the time because of that reason. So I was like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like having chicken from a can, tuna from a can. So I'm having this. You guys, this is so good. Okay. Next, Wendy. Hey, Wendy. Oh my God, that's so good. Wendy asks, what are your thoughts on buying something on Poshmark from someone cheap via a bundle, then reselling that item for a higher price in your own closet? I would, of course, use my own photos, title, description, and photos. Okay, that's a good question. I think basically you're talking about like sourcing online, ultimately. In relation to Poshmark specifically, if someone's selling something, doesn't mean they're a reseller. Just means maybe they're clearing out their closet, right? There's a lot of, I know we're aware of the reselling community because we're a part of it, we're in it. But don't forget, everyone, there's a lot of people using all these platforms that are just trying to get rid of the stuff in their closet and are not, maybe they do have a bunch of items in their closet because they had a lot of stuff. Doesn't mean they're a reseller. Doesn't mean they're after the high price flips. And because they're not purchasing the items outright to flip, maybe they can go a little lower. So say you buy 5 pieces in a bundle and you can get each item for, after taxes, shipping, etc. Maybe you can get each item for 10, 15 bucks, depending on the quality of the item, what the item is, etc. That could range. It could be $5, whatever. I think, listen, it makes them a sale. They get the money that they're after. But if you go and flip it in your closet, I think that's being smart. At the end of the day, if the person's after a certain price point, it's their duty to do that. It's literally not your job and it's not your problem to, although I did do this to someone recently. Here's an example. I found someone that had an incorrect designer name because I was looking to source online. They had an incorrect designer name and it hadn't gotten a lot of traffic and it should have been sold. I'm not going to say what or what designer. But instead, I wrote them a comment privately and was like, hey, I just couldn't, what did I say? Hey, hi, unsolicited advice. I think you should relist this item. Correct it to the following name, because that's what the right name is, da-da-da-da. And I think you can actually up your price about $100. And it was already listed for a good amount. Didn't hear back from them. But, like, that's totally, like, I guess it's called, like, being a good person. I don't know. I didn't want to take advantage of that particular situation. Because, I don't know, I started to go into, like, a deep dive. I'm like, let me look at their closet. Let me check this out. Let me check that out. And I just wanted this person to, know subtly, like, make sure you know your brand names. Because I could have taken advantage and, like, scooped this up for no money and flipped it. I have done that before. This time was not the time. Because I was like, you know what? Let me just, like, have an educational moment. I won't always feel like that. I will absolutely sometimes take that. But in this instance, someone wrote the wrong name. So I was like, you know what? Let me just be nice. Tell them they can jack up the price and make more money. Because, you know, we're all trying to make a little bit of coin these days. And if I can help someone make a little bit more money just from telling them to fix the name, you know, great. I know some of you are probably like, why did you do that? And it's like, listen, again, I wasn't after all that possible flip, you know, in that instance. But again, it's like, that's literally going out of my way to tell this person for them to maybe see it, for them to maybe do it. So if you're buying something and you can get it from someone on Posh or wherever and flip it in your own closet on that same platform, do a you. That's being smart, okay? That's getting crafty. That's paying attention to the marketplace. And yeah, that's like, that kind of situation is ever growing. Ever growing? Yeah, ever growing now that we're in the circumstances we are with people trying to source online. Don't feel guilty at all. Like I said, not everyone's after the same flip, you know. Okay, great. Next. Oh, I'm thirsty tonight. This is so good. Do you ever just, like, drink something and it's just like, oh my god, it's so good, you guys. Okay. Elise M. How do you go about promoting listings on Mercari? I feel like they want me to promote / drop the price every 5 minutes. Thanks. Okay. Valid question. Great question. Love the multi-platform chat. Mercari. So for those who are unfamiliar with the Mercari, and maybe if you want to try it out below, link below, you can get $10 off. And $5 additional when you list your first item. Link below. The thing you have to remember about Mercari is it's not apples to apples with Poshmark. It's a similar thing, different function. In relation to promoting, so something that Mercari does that Poshmark does not. So with Poshmark, you get your item to the top of the list of that brand, that type of item, by sharing your closet, right? Mercari doesn't do sharing, you know, set it and forget it. But the thing you can do, because you set it and forget it, and your items could go down in the list if more people start listing, what you can do is promote, aka do a small price drop. So say you list, like, let's talk like this mask, right? Say you list this mask for $20. The great thing about Mercari, you can see how many people are watching or have seen it, how many people like it, so have hearted the item. so that they can get updates. And say you see that you have like 3 people liking, but no one's put in an offer or anything. No one has put in an offer or anything. Wow, I can't talk. And you check out comps. You're like, why hasn't this sold? What's the deal? And you see maybe there's like 10 more items above your item now. What you can do is use the promote button in Mercari to do a subtle price drop. It chooses for you, but it's usually only $1 or $2. And like on something that's $20, it would probably be $1. But the higher price you go, the bigger the percentage drop is to promote it. So if something's 75 and you want to promote, it might go to like 71 or 72, etc. But basically when you promote, it'll be like, hey everybody, this is on sale. And it'll put it at the top of the list, and Mercari will promote it with like a nice banner that says it's discounted X%. Which is great. With Mercari, you can also send like a private price, just like Poshmark. You can like send a offer to likers, so to speak. But the promote is to the public. So I actually like that feature. They do kind of want you to promote consistently. I'm still figuring out that particular like rhythm of promoting. My general rule, which I got recommended to me, I just hit the side of my dish, from Hugo, Sell Quick Ship Quick, was like roughly every 3 likes that you have on an item, that's the time to maybe send them a private offer. And then, oh, I just got an email. B&G referral order, hey. I think really to promote, just be aware of your price and know that Mercari is slightly different than Posh. So I would probably always recommend you give free shipping unless the item is very heavy and warrants that. I'm trying to think. Like if I was shipping something where I had to protect it and stuff it and package it, I'm gonna have them pay for that. Or I'm gonna jack up the cost, not jack it up, but I'm gonna bump the cost to accommodate for that larger increase in shipping. I always do free shipping, unless I can't do something first class, then I will entertain if I'm even gonna put it on Mercari, or if I'll have Mercari do the weight. Like if they'll deal with the label or I will deal with the label. The thing is, Mercari shipping's kind of expensive. It's almost $10 for up to 5 pounds. So Poshmark has that going for them. So you just kind of want to balance out where you're putting your listings. I think a Mercari update, a Mercari video, a Mercari specific video is in my future. Thumbs up if you agree. But yeah, I would say promote. You don't have to promote all your listings. Promote 1 or 2. And, you know, let that sit for like a week or 2. But again, for those who want to start Mercari, just know that your listings, kind of like eBay, it's not going to pop up unless you promote or do something additional to make that like accessible or visible, more visible. Okay. Great question. Okay, next is picking, painting, and other stuff. Fun name. Any tips or advice for trying Mercari for the first time? Better or worse than Poshmark? Okay, back to Mercari. Better or worse? I think that's personal preference. I don't find them to be. I have some qualms with things that happen on Poshmark, but I still like the platform. Ultimately, both of them are free to list. Can't say the same for eBay all the time, especially if you're like a full-time seller and have a store, etc. Because then you have to start to pay. But for the most part, I would say put on both platforms if you can, using Vendu or other places that do cross-listing, but I do Vendu to put it in multiple marketplaces. I would say the thing to remember about Mercari is, in my experience so far, stuff that is right around $20 or less that's like perfect for Mercari. You can obviously sell stuff at a higher price point, but comparatively to Poshmark, the thing that Mercari has going for it in relation to something that's $20 or less, specifically that can be shipped first class, is they only take 10% and the shipping. Well, okay. there's a little bit of math that goes into this here, and I'm not going to be a calculator on screen. But basically, Poshmark takes 20%. Mercari takes 10%. And I will also say you probably should, just as like an advertising thing, give free shipping. So let's say shipping first class, let's go with $4 on the higher end of first class. So if something is $20, the 10% fee will be $10, and, excuse me, the 10% fee will be $2. Sorry. 20% of that would be $4. Okay. So comparatively, you then have to figure out, when it comes down to shipping, where you want to spend the money. It kind of balances out between the two at that price point with the discounts. But say you sell something for $20 on Poshmark, 20%. But say you also gave a shipping discount, it's an additional $2 or $7, depending on what it is. At that point, it would make more sense to ship it on Mercari first class and for 10%, because it will either be just similar to Poshmark or a little bit of less, aka returning more money in your pocket. I hope that's coming across clear, but basically it's just a shipping game. If you can ship expensive things, or if you can get stuff to sell on Macari at a higher price point and still ship first class with free shipping, out the gate you're going to do a lot better, because 20% of, you know, $100 sale on Poshmark, $20, is only going to be $10 on Mercari. And if you're shipping first class, that's about $3.50 to $4. You're going to get a whole $5 to $6 more in your pocket from that sale, whereas Poshmark would take it. The first class thing is important to remember here, because if you're offering the shipping for free, which I recommend, you can definitely make that work for you. But if you're charging the buyer for shipping, that's even better, because then you fully get all that extra 10% that Poshmark would take, and you don't have to pay the shipping fee. So definitely do that. I will say, though, in my experience, and me as a shopper on Macari, I'm looking for something that's free shipping. Will I pay for the shipping? Yes, but I have not yet found the item that I want at the price point to warrant it. So it's really up to you. I don't know if you're a numbers person. I don't know if you all out there are a numbers person. I think you should be if you're a reseller. You don't need to be like a mathematician, but just make sure you're ultimately just do both places. You know, try both. Yeah. And if you do ship yourself, I highly recommend you ship on your own, and not through Mercari. Again, it's a higher cost, and I use Pirate Ship, not affiliated, not sponsored, etc. Pirate Ship gets you discounted USPS pricing. So I think if you want to ship first class with Mercari, it's like $4.99 flat. But if you want to ship something up to 5 pounds, it's $10. So already out the gate, I know first class mail, I can get as low as like what did I ship? $3.21 through Pirate Ship, up to, you know, like a heavy, like an almost 15-ounce first class package, which could be over $4. But it's still cheaper than Mercari. Yes, you have to do the work, and yes, you have to have a scale to do that, but in the long run, you're saving yourself money. And then when it comes to the $9.99 label for up to 5 pounds, this is where all the flat rate mailers come in. The flat rate envelope, the flat rate padded, small flat rate box, etc. Those are always under, I think you can get them for $7 something. So, you know, you're saving yourself $2 whole, maybe sometimes $3, depending on what option you choose. So definitely just, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is a really good idea. Thank you for this question, because I think I should do a Mercari video. Thumbs up if you agree. I think I should do a Mercari video too, to tell people maybe how to navigate the app if they haven't already, or want to try it but are nervous. It does take a little bit more practice, and I will say it's like an eBay in that way, and you have to be a little bit more involved, but I find it to be worth it. And again, the whole aspect of setting it and forget it, you know, list it and move on with your life. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. And, okay, moving on, back to Poshmark. Thank you for the questions. I actually posted a question on my Instagram. I'll see if I can find it. I'll put it up somewhere. Basically, all of a sudden, and listen, I know I'm in the business of reselling and selling, making a sale. I get it. But out of nowhere, I have all of a sudden, and you guys have agreed too, I'll show you the receipts. There has been a random, sudden influx of people out of the blue saying, oh my gosh, love this item, send me an offer. Or, oh my gosh, interested, send me an offer with discounted shipping. Like, commanding it. And I was like, I've never gotten this before. Like, I've gotten, like, I'm interested, but not I'm interested, send me an offer, or I'm interested, send me an offer with discounted shipping. Because, specifically to Poshmark, this is only happening on Poshmark. The whole idea is that the offer button is there both ways. So I can offer you or you can offer me. I understand maybe asking, but like there's like an entitlement. It's like it's not, hey, I'm really interested, like hoping we can work together to come down on price. It's the way these were all coming through is you as the seller give me the discount, which as someone who professionally negotiated right out of college for 5+ years and was good at it and still am good at it, you, in this game, in reselling, you don't ever really want to be the first person unless you're offering a discount, specifically on Poshmark, unless you're offer to likering, you always want the buyer to be the first person to give you an offer and then negotiate from there, whether it's a lowball or not. Why? Because the second you as a seller give them, especially if they ask for it, it already starts to put in your mind, well, they want me to give an offer, so maybe I have to come down a little bit because maybe they can't afford it. You know, you start to go through all those questions. No, not our problem. If they can't afford it, it's not our problem. So say you have something, I had something listed for 25. Oh, no. I had two things. Someone wanted to create a bundle. They said publicly, you know, I have XYZ of dollars, give me discounted shipping. And I was like, thank you so much. You can use the offer button. Or I put it in a bundle and I was like, here's this. She added something, took it away, She's like, well, what's the best you can do for me? And I'm like, well, I can't do this plus this. And she's like, okay. And then she removed stuff, canceled an initial offer on one item, redid it, offered me a better price, and then canceled it. And I was like, what is going on? And that person might see this video and I get it. Like, okay, fine. I'm very comfortable talking about this. I think it's very weird. I don't know where this happened. Like, I'll put the receipts up here. I asked you guys and you all commented. I have never had so many people comment on an Instagram thing like this. There are so many of you that said you're having the same, not issue, but same thing. Like, out of nowhere, all these people started asking for stuff and like commanding it. I find it to be a little rude, to be quite honest, especially when people are like, give me discounted shipping. I'm sorry. Like, you wouldn't go into a store and be like, hi, give me 50% off and send it to my home for free. Like, what? No. That said, I'm appreciative of any offer that comes through, whether it's a low ball or not. I might have an opinion on it if it's a low ball, but listen. If you send me the offer, I know that you're serious. These people commenting, being like, I like this, give me a discount. Give me an offer. Give me an offer and then we can chat about a discount. Or we can talk about wiggle room, etc. for the price. I don't know what's up with that. It was very bizarre. Very bizarre. So bizarre. Anyway. I've rambled long enough. Leave a comment down below. Are you getting these random requests all of a sudden that people are like, hi, I'm interested, give me a discount? Pfft, never in my wildest dreams. I would never, just also, like, I'm not the person, especially on a public platform, I'm not the person to ask for something like that. And even, no, I would just never ask for something like that. I would maybe message someone and say, hey, like in a bundle, hey, I'm really interested in this, hoping no, I wouldn't even say something like that. Like, put it in the bundle, offer the price, you know? Like, listen, at the end of the day, give me the price. Ultimately, you as the buyer, give me a price if you don't want to buy it full price, right? Will it work? Maybe not. But you guys, not you guys, I'm not, you know what I'm going crazy. You need to receive, as the seller, the offer first, unless you were offering to likers on Poshmark. That is my recommendation. That's that. Let the buyer send you the offer. If they're not sending you the offer, you're not making the sale with that person, which is fine, because I need to conduct a sale with a person who is understanding that the transaction happens with clicks of buttons, not comments. Does that make sense? Like, I'm sure we've all had, hey, would you do X amount of dollars? And it's like, I take the personal, I know I'm getting like sassy about it. Take the personal aspect out of this and just default your responses. Make your default response in those situations, send through an offer. Click that offer button and send it through an offer. Like, just make it short, sweet. You don't need to elaborate. You don't need to say anything else. Just send me an offer with the offer button. That's it. Whether they do it or not, who knows? Hopefully it turns into a sale. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a sale. Hopefully it turns into a sale, right? Automate your responses. Thank you so much. Shoot me an offer. No. Shoot me an offer. I'm backtracking. Shoot me an offer. That's it. That's all you need to say. That's how Poshmark works. Shoot me an offer. You don't negotiate in the comments. Shoot me an offer. We'll negotiate in the private negotiation chat. You know? List price $25. Offer 10. No. Offer 23. Offer 14. No. Offer 22. Offer 15. Okay, like, is there going to be a wiggle room? One last one. Offer 20. Accepted. That's the goal, right? Whether that happens, TBD. But anyway, hope you guys found this to be entertaining. It's always funny when we get these types of like spammy things on Posh. Because they're always like, I feel like it's in waves. Like sometimes it's, you know, like host pick stuff or, you know, so interested. Anyway, hope you guys liked today's video. Stay tuned for next week where we'll do a whole like dive into the bins and we will talk about what it's like to shop at a Goodwill Outlet. I'll go through my old pictures and things to see if I have any footage so you can visually see what it might look like. People who are there are not always happy to be on camera, which I understand, just sharing my experience. But stay tuned for that video next week when we sit down and have lunch again, and I'll have something a little bit more exciting. Leave me a comment. Leave me a comment over something I can get for lunch, or make for lunch rather, that's simple but like Weight Watcher friendly and delicious. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when I put up a video. And that will be it for today's video. Thank you guys. Bye.